What is going on, horror fans? Welcome back to the channel for another real-life experience that's sure to leave you shaken. Before we begin, let me just issue a warning. What you're about to hear isn't for the faint of heart. The story I'm about to recount still haunts me to this day with its sheer, unshakable dread. So get comfortable, turn off the lights, and let the fear consume you as I take you along on a nightmarish delivery run from my former job as a long-haul trucker. This particular job started out simple enough. I was given a last-minute overnight route taking me through the winding back roads of rural Montana. The load was a single, nondescript pallet, supposedly carrying automotive parts bound for a distribution facility off the interstate. A straightforward enough job, or so I thought. I hit the road around 11 p.m. after scanning in the cargo's barcode and sealing up the trailer as usual. The night was crystal clear as I merged onto the dark, lonely two-lane highway. A waxing crescent moon cast just enough light to silhouette the craggy mountains looming all around me as heaps of stars shimmered brilliantly overhead. After a couple hours into the seemingly endless sea of pines and valleys, an incredibly thick ground fog began insulating the road unnaturally fast. Within minutes, the usually reliable glow of my headlights was smothered, reducing visibility to just a few feet in front of the rig. Now, any truck driver worth their salt knows better than to blindly barrel through that kind of zero visibility fog. So I killed the engine, pulled over onto the shoulder to wait it out, resigning myself to a long, arduous delay. As the big rig's rumbling quieted into eerie stillness, I became enveloped by that dense wall of fog. An oppressive, womb-like hush fell over the cab to the point where even my own breathing seemed amplified. That's when it first started. The faintest of noises in the stillness, a soft tapping on the trailer, or was it the cab? It was hard to pinpoint. I dismissed the sound as unmelted ice, or maybe branches scraping in the wind, but there was no wind. And this tapping soon transitioned to a persistent, erratic scratching and scrabbling, traveling all around the truck like a swarm of rabid rodents, frantically scurrying in chaotic patterns across every side, claws on metal. At this point, every hair stood on end as paralyzing dread took hold. I strained to pierce the fog with my gaze, but saw nothing in the suffocating grayness. The scratching grew louder, accompanied by a steady thud, like something heavy rhythmically slamming against the wall of the trailer just feet behind me. That's when I knew something was trying to get in. I hurled myself into the cab's sleeper berth, sealing the door as tremendous pounding reverberated through the whole rig as if under siege. With adrenaline coursing, I huddled into the fetal position, clutching my phone with trembling hands as I tried calling for help, but there was no signal at all. A high-pitched, inhumane shriek pierced the din, the wailing of something decidedly unnatural. It raised the curtain hairs on the back of my neck. The cacophony was deafening now as the unholy battering on the trailer reached a frenzied crescendo. Then, dead silence. After what felt like an eternity, I realized the noises had stopped altogether. But even more disconcerting, that once blinding fog had completely dissipated, leaving the bright, unwavering stars exposed once more, as if nothing had happened. When the first faint rays of dawn cracked over the peaks, I emerged with shaken nerves from the rig's cabin to inspect the exterior. There were no marks, no scratches, no signs that anything had even made an attempt to breach the trailer and its mysterious cargo. To this day, the barcode on that one pallet never once registered in any shipping database. Its supposed point of origin and destination remain unknown, and I've never been able to put my mind at ease about what sort of malevolent force may have tried to hitch a ride that fateful night. Was it some primordial evil laying in wait, sensing an opportunity when the unnatural fog descended? Or were my senses simply betraying me in the depths of that isolating darkness? Whatever malign presence I encountered, it felt ancient, hungry, as if those inhuman shrieks and frantic screechings were the plaintive wails of a monstrous entity, violently rebuked from entering our world. I shuddered at the thought of what terrors it hoped to unleash if it had managed to breach that trailer. In the weeks after that harrowing experience, I became consumed by insomnia and paranoia. Ordinary noises like tree branches scraping my roof would trigger cold sweats. Shadows took on sinister shape in the corners of my vision, and the questions wouldn't stop haunting me. What if I had ignored my instincts and opened up the trailer door in a moment of bravery or stupidity? What nameless abomination would have come spilling forth from those unholy depths? Would I have been able to comprehend the sheer cosmic dread of glimpsing its true form? These agonizing thoughts swarmed through my mind night after night until I eventually made the decision to exit that line of work and this dimension for good. I pulled my rig into the transportation yard, dropped off the cargo keys, and never looked back. To live in the quiet fear of the unknown is an existence of suffering. So I ask all of you, my fellow chroniclers of the inexplicable, what could I have possibly encountered on that back road, if not something far outside the boundaries of our reality? What ancient slumbering forces still lurk beyond the veil of our perception, ravenously waiting for the slightest opportunity to infiltrate our world? No matter how thoroughly I analyze it, that night still holds no logical answers for me, only bone-chilling questions that leave me restless whenever I'm enveloped by a suffocating quiet, dreading the faintest sound of scratching in the darkness. It's the fear of the unknowable that clings tightest, eroding your sanity until you're left huddling in a corner, cocooned by madness, simply waiting for the end to mercifully arrive, because something masquerading within that truck's cargo was more assuredly not of this earth. And as much as I try to move on, part of it may have followed me back into this reality, waiting for a vincible crack to slither through and enact its unspeakable horrors. So there you have it, my friends, the terrifying reason why I steer clear of those back roads today. If you enjoyed this truly unsettling tale, do me a favor, punch that like button and share this story far and wide so all can be warned of the abhorrent forces lurking in those dark, secretive corners of our world. And while you're at it, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you'll never miss another hair-raising experience like this one. Who knows what might else come spilling out of the shadows into these videos. Until next time, let the night terrors commence.